All right. Let's give it a little bit of testing here. So let's give it about 10 seconds here. Boom. All right. Testing, testing. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and 10. We are live, folks. What is up, everyone? It is your boy, Shazman21, and welcome to my live here. I'm a little bit nervous here because this is my first time doing a live stream, so I might kind of have a little bit stumble here. But yeah, this one is going to be just a little live stream about my reflection on what's been going on in my life because today is my birthday. I am 22 years old. Yep, it's a kind of a big deal, I guess. I don't know. To me, it is because it's just like um, how should I say this? I well, not I, but there's been like some people in my life that were like close to me, like from my friends and just like some people I looked up to back in the day when I was like a teenager or whatnot. Unfortunately, have like lost their lives like at the age of like 21 and just sometimes like younger as in like I don't know 19 sometimes. So it's just it sucks that that happened, but I'm just glad that I was able to make it past 21 and right now I'm 22 years old, so it's definitely a big blessing. Also I have a new mic too, so that's the reason why it sounds pretty cool. But otherwise, yeah, it's been a pretty good year thus far. 2022 has been quite a successful year for me, and it's been pretty good. I would also have to say too that for the past 22 years I just been doing quite a lot of the things, from when I was a child. I would just, I don't know, sometimes I would jump around, play around with toys, and sometimes watch like some really cool cartoons. Like I don't know, like what was it my favorite shows I would watch sometimes would be like Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans. I would also say Dexter's Laboratory, and what was that other show? Johnny Bravo was pretty good too. Codename Kids Next Door was pretty good. Um, I would say from Nickelodeon, I would say Danny Phantom, SpongeBob, Camp Lazlo, and just so many really great shows that are like very underrated. Heck, I'm sure this one's like an underrated legend or underrated show that I think no one quite remembers, but Generate Generator Rex and Iron Man Armored Adventure. Those shows were very, very underrated and they were really good. And of course, the classic spectacular Spider-Man, of course, was really good. And just so many other things too. So don't mind the background here. There's still like stuff going on, um, helping out and stuff. So there could be just a little bit of that, and I might probably come out to see what's going on sometimes. But otherwise, yeah, just I've been having such a great day. It's not great day, but like what was I saying? Oh yeah, back to my childhood. Um yeah, I would also play like a lot of video games too. I mean, I remember I was like what my first control not controller what was it? Console. I think it was the Xbox. So that was my first console that I've ever like used that was like video game related. And I remember playing a certain game called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and that one was like a okay game. Like in hindsight, it was an okay game, but as a child, it was like just a fun thing because like I just got done watching the pretty good movie, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory revision with Johnny Depp in it. It was interesting. It's not like the classic, the Charlie and Chocolate Factory from back then in like the I don't know 1950s, 60s, somewhere around there. That one is a childhood classic, and I love watching that the most. But yeah, the Charlie and Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty good. But speaking of movies, not only was the Charlie and Chocolate Factory one of my most favorite movies I would watch sometimes, it would also be The Dark Crystal all the freaking time, guys. Like seriously. I think I remember a few lines. It's been a minute, but I think I remember Ogre Nose. Uh, that one. God. Yeah, dude. I haven't watched like Dark Crystal in a minute, so there might be some quotes I might miss or stuff like that. Um, what was the character's names? Jim, Kyria, something like that. It's been a minute, guys, so cut me some slack here. But yeah, it was my most favorite movie I would watch all the time. You know, it was like the best thing ever for me, and just it was great. Um, Video games I would usually play too. After the Xbox was, you know, I would play the GameCube sometimes with Def Jam 5 for New York because of my cousin Sean. I would also play Day of Reckoning at least for a little bit, like Day of Reckoning 2. But I would also play ton of games, and sometimes watch my cousin play too. To like mimic what he was doing at the time, and it was a really great time to just do a lot of cool things, and speaking of which, yeah, I think I'll talk about that later, but um, otherwise, yeah, it was like a good time to just like be out there, just being a child, just having a really amazing time. And on top of that, I was like very active, so that was fun. Jumping around and going to a lot of places. So it was fun, dude. Like, yeah, I mean, some of my childhood wasn't really the best sometimes because of dealing with a lot of people from bullying me, and also sometimes some people telling me that because of like my autism, that like I would not be here right now, having a lot of success, and I would always need help and just a lot of other assistance that I need because I have such a disease or whatever. It was so stupid. And of course, I definitely proved them wrong now because here I am streaming. I'm a heavy introvert. You know, I like to try to express myself as best as possible. Yeah, but yeah, it was a pretty good childhood. Like, it wasn't excellent. There was a lot of stuff that was going on, but it was pretty good. I would definitely say I had some of my needs met most of the time, and what's been like helping me out the most from that, since childhood too, is like my mom, always continuously loving me no matter what, and just making me express myself in different ways that I'm okay to express, and I really appreciate that. So if mom is watching this here, thank you so much for that. And yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and like go into details here on how I was born. So so it happened by interesting circumstances. So my mom was kind of doing a thing with someone. Then all of a sudden, let's say November 19th is when she went into labor. And it wasn't until later on in November 20th or whatever, um, you know, they were going to try to get me out. And then at 3 o'clock a.m., I was born. I came out of my mom's wombs, and it was interesting. Now, obviously, I couldn't remember this considering I was a baby. I was just born. I was an infant, so I wouldn't remember much of anything from that particular point in time, other than just like feeling like, I'm trying to like catch my breath, maybe, or I don't know. Feeling the warmth of my mom too was awesome. So I think that's somewhat I can remember, because the only thing I can remember really is from my childhood, when I was a kid. So from infant to 3 years old, it's kind of hard to remember, but I think I was just doing some, usual things, just playing around and stuff. Oh yeah, fun fact, during that particular point in time too, I was like playing games and all this stuff. I'm sorry if I'm jumping around here, but I'm just reflecting all of what was going on in my life. So there will be a lot of like jumping back and forth there. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I remember I was also like using this like certain car too that I would just like drive around with, and it was like the most awesome thing ever in my life. Just like driving a little thing for myself, which had its own stuff in it. And on top of that, I also was playing with a robot robotic dog, so that was pretty interesting. And just a lot of stuff. So yeah, like I said, my childhood was like pretty interesting. Albeit like there was still like a lot going on, especially in school. So like there was that going on, and on top of that, just a lot of other stuff. You know, also like I was a big WWE fan too, so I was watching a lot of WWE back in the day from the Ruthless Aggression era too, which was freaking awesome. From Eddie Guerrero to I don't know if I really should say his name, but CB or Era 404. I don't know. I really don't know if I really need to say his name, but uh yeah, that guy to John Cena, who's like my most favorite wrestler of all time. It still is to this day. And I would say Batista, Rey Mysterio, The Undertaker, and I think I remember what was his name? Tajiri. He was freaking cool, guys. He really was. He was an underrated legend back then. And he still is an underrated legend now. But still, I remember that and just Triple H. Oh yes, Triple H. I was a huge fan of Triple H for us guys. Like the Reign of Terror part was kind of interesting, but like, him as a cerebral assassin, like afterwards, guys, like the feud that he had with Randy Orton, bro. I remember like just watching it, like I guess it was kind of like yesterday too, like 2009 on a Monday Night Raw somewhere in like October or whatever. I forgot the date and the month, but it was definitely in 2009 where like they had like an intense feud. Like freaking Randy Orton was like punk kicking everybody in the face, and I think I remember he kissed Stephanie McMahon after he delivered a DDT on her. I was like, oh man, he's evil. He was evil. He was a menace, bro. And then like he got his comeuppance when like Triple H decided to like pull a GTA and like storm in his house and just beat his ass. So I was like, wow, that was crazy. Um, there was also Edge versus John Cena. That one was really good too. I remember just Edge and Randy Orton. I hated when I was a kid. I like them now because I'm older now, but as a child, I could not stand them. Like just that was a thing about them. Like they were like villains that you personally hated. Like really. I mean, I'm sure like the hardcore fans really liked them because they were hating on John Cena, but for those guys, whatever. But yeah, it was just I was not liking them at all. I hated them. I really did. I was just like every single time I even had like those like SmackDown versus Raw games, I would like sometimes like see their faces and I'm like, I cannot wait to beat their asses. I don't care who I was gonna play as, either as myself or as a certain wrestler. I was like, I am going to beat them too. uh I don't think I'm gonna go too much into like the games or whatnot, other than the ones that I can remember would be Resident Evil 4, Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi or Tenkaichi, whatever you want to call it. 3. I think it was 3. It had to been either 1 or 3. I never played the second part, unfortunately, but I remember Budokai Tenkai. I'll just say it. Budokai Tenkaichi 1 and 3 was pretty good, and Ultimate was decent, but it could have been better. It could have been better. Um, I think I was also playing. Was it a Ratatouille game? Oh yeah, that one was pretty good. Planet, whatever. There was like a lot of like games that I do sort of remember, but it's like it's been so long since I last like remembered these like particular games. So it's like it might take some bit of time, but like I said, my childhood was pretty good. I would say the least. Um, but yeah, I think that's gonna be it about my childhood. Other than like it was a pretty interesting time period of just having a good time with my life and enjoying the shows I watch, from like anime too. Yeah, anime too. I'll get into that later, but yeah, just I was enjoying a lot of things, and it was really cool. From video games to shows to movies to a lot of stuff while also being active. So it was like I was doing a lot of stuff, man. It was really cool. And yeah, that's I think that's about it. But my teenage years, or I would say like my preteens was I mean, I remember a few things that was going on, but I remember just letting it was just some little dull and things. I was still technically speaking a child. I was doing a lot of things, and some things were like kind of like making me mad a few times on a lot of things, I guess, or I don't know. It was just there was a lot that was going on that is just like my pre-teenage years was I gotta admit kind of uneventful. So all I would say is like it was cool, but I was just mainly still just being a child, just trying to figure things out while hormones was starting to come in. So that's all I can sort of remember. I think I was still doing practically the same thing I was doing as a child, just I was getting a little older. It would be till like I was 14 years old where things started to kind of change a little bit, um, where I started getting to like online relationships that were okay, but not really. I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. So between like the ages of 14 to 19, this where like things started to get really, really interesting. So I was in very odd relationships. I was also, growing up a little bit. I also somehow, even in my pre-teenage years too, I remember this one was that I actually got fat. Yep. I was a skinny twig for quite some time until I got, that little big belly when I was like 11 years old, I would say. But that would have been like right after the summer. But otherwise, yeah, 2011 was. Oh, yeah, actually, let me speak on that a little bit. 2011, I do remember being like a pretty good year for me as a kid, just having a good time usually. And I also went to San Jose as well, which was fun. And I won't get into too much on that, but like, it was really cool. I loved being out there. And I would also say, um, while that was going on, my brother was about to be born and stuff. And yeah, my little brother Nisus, shout out to him. Uh, you know, he's still killing it right now and doing his thing. And I remember when I first saw him after California was, I remember just like picking up my little brother for the first time, and he was so small too, man. And just, being at awe to see my baby brother, man. Like he was so cute, bro. He really was. Um, because I remember I was like talking to him a few times when he was in my mom's belly, and just I would just like casually just like talk to him about a lot of things and just kind of play with the belly a little bit. And sometimes, the little thing who turns out to be my little brother was, vibing with me too. And 11 years later, or now going on 12 years later, really, the relationship is still as strong as it has always been. And if you're watching this, nicest, my baby brother, I love you, bro. Even though I always tease you a lot because you're a little mumpskin, little stinker, I still love you, man. I still love you, bro. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting year with the fact that I was doing a lot of things. My brother was born, went to Cali in the summer, and a lot of cool things, dude. But yeah, it was awesome. And then let's go back to my teenage year. So in my teenage years, things was different, man. Like it really was. There was a lot that was going on. Sometimes a lot of fighting. Sometimes a lot of, insecure. Well, not. Oh yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Insecurities. At that particular point in time, I was just thinking about like stupid things, like oh, I want to get popular. Oh, I want to get. Excuse my language for ladies out there, bitches, and just a lot of stupid things. It was dumb, and also trying to get taller to like I don't know, be 5'8", 6 feet or taller. I don't know. I wanted to be taller so badly as well, and obviously that didn't work out because you can't control your height. Obviously, it's determined by your fucking genetics. But besides that, it was just like a lot of unnecessary things that I really didn't need to worry about, but I did because hormones and a lot of stuff was going on, man. So there was that going on. I had some friendships. I've even had some friendships that was like gone because of sometimes what I did, but also just like sometimes just it was just not going to be like a sustainable friendship with so and so's and so and so's and so and so's. But um, yeah, it was interesting. And on top of that, I was thinking about just a lot of dumb things as well, like being insecure about, if I'm, good enough or I'm tall enough or if I'm, you know, good looking, I guess. I don't know. It was a weird time, man. It really was. It was an impactful time too, but it was definitely a weird time. And just there was a lot of things I was just like I really didn't even have to worry about, but I did. And even despite that going on, I was surprisingly able to make friends. So it was quite interesting, especially for the fact that I was like homeschooled for quite some time right after, elementary school. Because I was, like I said, like I mentioned when I was a child, I was bullied a lot because of just a lot of reasons. And, I didn't really go to like a public middle school because, I was mostly homeschooled throughout middle school. So that's why I didn't really get. Well, I don't know. I guess I would say it's kind of a blessing that I didn't have to go to public middle school, but I don't know about that. I think it wouldn't really be good either for me because like I was still kind of recovering from what was going on in elementary school and all types of stuff. And I think at the same time too, even if I was to go to like public middle school at the time or whatever it would have been if I was to go to public middle school, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good for me. It just wouldn't be. So I'm kind of glad that I actually just did the whole homeschool thing um, throughout the sixth and eighth grade and stuff. And yeah, it was like interesting. So then when I went to high school, it was obviously a completely different experience. It was my first time coming back to a public school, and at first it was pretty overwhelming to be seeing a lot of kids and well, kids are around my age and stuff, and it was just it was a different experience, man. It was. I was overwhelmed, and it was just a lot going on, and somehow I was able to make quite some interesting friends at the time that I'm sure they're still there. I'll say shout out to Logan, shout out to Erica, shout out to Nicole, shout out to um, my best friend Eric Marsh, aka Marsh to Madness. What's good, homie? To Sean, to Monique. I would also say Maria. Yeah, Maria. And just a lot of like really very great friends. Indigo too. And yeah, those particular people were everything. Destiny and Dylan. Yeah, Destiny and Dylan. Those guys were really awesome. Like they were like geeks. Well, I would say geeks, but they were like nerdy about like a lot of stuff, from K-pop and anime like me. I was like, what? That was awesome. So yeah, shout out to those guys. And I was like blessed to have such like great friendship with these people. And to this day, I still think, man, if 2020, I'll get into that later, but just like only if like 2020 wasn't, the way it was. And we would have at least had a little like a better conclusion on a lot of things, but I'll get into that later. But yeah, in high school it was a lot going on. Somehow I almost got into a fight with some guy. I'm not gonna say his fucking name, but that one was going on. And yeah, I mean that was really it. I mean, I didn't have any other issues with certain people, but that was just the thing about like high school too. It's just like, sometimes oops. Sorry about that, guys. That was my timer. Um, oh yeah, like I was saying. So in high school, it was just a lot of things that was going on. You would have like sometimes some friendships that you think might last, but it doesn't really, and just so many things that was going on. So yeah, I mean, uh, besides that, my grades was pretty good for the most part, although I wasn't really taking it as seriously as I should have, from freshman year, sophomore year. But I remember there was like a pivotal point in my life when I turned 18 years old, and this would have been like between 2018 and 2019 where things just was completely different because my mindset, as a matter of fact, yeah, my mindset had like a completely different change, whereas it wasn't just like, oh, I'm just living life with like friends, and sometimes feeling like I need to like have a lot of things like, oh, I need a girlfriend, I need a lot of this, I need a girl's attraction, to a lot of like weird dumb stuff going on, to then like when I was 18 years old where I really started to like take some initiatives to improving on my life. And that's when I started to like make a lot of changes and taking like my work seriously, to taking the friendships and relationships a little bit more seriously. Having like a deeper connection with them, and just expressing myself just a little bit more. And it's still ongoing to this day, especially now that I'm 22 years old, so it's like it's still going on. So initially, that's my thought process of like having interperspective on a lot of things. That's why, like, as you can see in like one of my videos, from Weeb Talk episodes to just a lot of other stuff too, I go in deep. Like, I mean, I don't even go wide, I go deep. Shout out to Taekwondo for that one. But not the system, like the fighting system, the some YouTuber. But besides that, just like I will always like go deep into topics that is like very interesting to me, and also sometimes reflecting on a lot of things. So that's why it's just like I am very, you know, I would say calm, present, and you know, talking about like a lot of cool things sometimes. So that's the reason why I like to just be a little bit more introspective on things sometimes. And yeah, I'm more interested in creating like a really nice art for a lot of people to see. From cartoons, like I don't know, making my own animation shorts, and possibly making a video game one day. One day, we'll see. So yeah, just doing anything really. But yeah, that's about it. Oh, wait. I want to talk about the 2020. So after, my thing with 2018, 2019 being like a pretty successful year, surprisingly for me, to just like having deeper connections with a lot of people, to just like performing at my absolute best too, from fitness to my work, and to a lot of things too, man. And it took a complete nosedive when 2020 rolled around, and a lot has happened in 2020 that I think has been already like talked about like for quite some time. The pandemic happened, a lot of stuff that was going on. There was a lot of killings, George Floyd's death, and so many others that I don't really necessarily need to get into, because I think you guys already know that 2020 was literally the worst year globally for everyone. So, it was no different for me. But, it definitely took like a major hit with, not only with like, my life, but just like how I felt about myself too, because I was lost. Because what was going on was like my ex girl broke up with me, to my school getting canceled, my graduation too was also getting canceled, and just everything was shutting down. And I was just mostly just sitting in my room, like, even though like as an introvert myself, it was kind of awesome, but I ain't gonna lie, man, I was also kind of just like, man, I kind of miss just kind of going out and just, hanging out with a few friends here and there, while still, being my introverted self sometimes. And yeah, it was not a great time. And what was even more scary too, and I now just had a bit more of a realization sometimes too, was that This was the last time I was a teenager, guys. I was 19 years old, turning 20 in 2020, and of course, 2020 being 2020, it was just it wasn't good, man. So I was pretty much forced to grow up after you know be 19. Like, um, I was just like thinking, like initially, like maybe like before that happened, like I don't know, I was gonna maybe have like a really like big year, like a big moment in my, last teens, and just like be able to just have fun with my friends, family, and of course my ex at the time too. But there was just, but like I said, 2020 was just it was not a good year, man. It really wasn't, and just a lot of things was going on, and you know, a certain event happened in 4th of July that has like pretty much like fucked me up a bit mentally. That has like caused me to have like really bad panic attacks and stuff. To just a lot of things, man. And it wasn't different with 2021 as well. Like I thought 2021 was gonna get a little bit better. It did, but there was just a lot of stuff going on in that year too that I don't really think I'm gonna get into too much. Besides this point here, where I'm gonna talk about my cousin Sean. So my cousin Sean has like practically been like a father figure to me for a very very long time. Like he took care of me from doing a lot like cool things. No, he did not change my freaking diapers. Okay, like let's no. What he was doing most of the time was just you know making me feel home, safe, and sometimes just allow me to play the video game with him sometimes. So that's the reason why I'm like so passionate about like this is because Sean made me felt you know okay to be myself because he was a nerd and he was also like cool with that as well. And back then it wasn't a cool thing to be a nerd, and the only thing you really need to be is like I don't know, like if you want to be considered yourself cool is to be a fucking jock or whatever. And like of course my cousin was a mixture of a lot of that, but in his core he's always like been like a smart dude and a smart nerd, and he was an amazing dude. Like he really was. He was just doing a lot of stuff, but unfortunately like what was happening too was when he was like 25 years old, I think this would have been like maybe before or after he met his wife, what well potentially would be his wife like later down the road. Um, he suffered a kidney failure that was like pretty fatal, and I think he ended up having like a his kidney transplanted by someone else. And I think he had like some kidney problems for quite some time up until it got like really worse in 2021, where just um, it like got so fatal that he started to like lose a lot of weight, and he was like almost dead skinny too, and it was scary to see too because like for the longest time he was always been like a really relatively healthy dude that would like take care of himself, but due to the fact that his kidneys was like really getting at him for so long, it like fucked him up completely. And it wasn't until in August that he unfortunately passed away due to the fact that it was like a kidney failure. And this fucking hurt me, dude. It really did. Like it it broke me to a core, man. Like hearing the news that my cousin who practically took care of me for all my life from when I was a baby is dead. And you know, that fucking hurt, dude. It did. And fuck, it's happening again. Um, it's crazy because like next couple of days it's gonna be his birthday. November 23rd. So shit. Fuck. But yeah, it's just when he died, it fucking broke me, dude. Like it was difficult to like handle the loss of someone that was essentially a part of my life, man. Like that like hurt because like I've had like some like friends too that like was part of me in some ways die too, and that still hurts me. But someone like in my life that was there even in the beginning in my life, a family member, like a very important family member too. On top of that, you know, like dead. That like it was like completely unheard of, but it unfortunately did happen, and it fucked me up. It really did, and my mental health kind of derailed just quite a little bit more because like it was already derailing just because of the fact of 2020 and how that went, and then that panic attack I had in that year as well. It was a mess, dude. So like when he passed away, that fucked me up to the core, man. It really did. And even now, a year later, um, after his unfortunate passing, I still feel that, man. I still do. And like even though I am doing really good in life, I'm doing my thing right now, which I'll get into later. Um, just losing my cousin still hurts me. It really does. So sorry about that, guys. I didn't want it to do that, but you know, I'm reflecting on a lot of things that's going on with my life, so I might as well just kind of open up just a little bit about a few things. But yeah, man, it was tough to deal with. And then 2022 rolled around, which is still going right now. Um, I thought that 2022 was going to be yet another year that was going to be like really tough, but somehow, and this is crazy, somehow, hold on a second. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My brother needed me for something real quick, but or just talk to me about something. But anyways, yeah, 2022 ended up surprisingly becoming a blissful year for me. Like my thought process initially was like I was just not going to think like, oh yeah, 2022 is going to be like a good year for me. I think it was just going to be like any other year, maybe even far worse depending on how it goes. But no, actually it got better for me. Like legitimately. Like there was just a lot of things that was going on to like, graduating from college to finally driving a car after like I don't know, like not doing it for quite some time, even though I wanted to do it when I was 16 years fucking old. So it was kind of cool. And then on top of that, like my mentality is like a lot more better now. I feel like I'm getting to the point where in my life I'm becoming the best version of myself. And it's crazy to say because like the thing is my expectations of this year, especially like coming in from just like what had happened with 2020 and 2021, my expectation was very 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 low for that one. So it was just that was going on. But yeah, it was quite a year, man. It's been quite a year, just doing a lot of things, and just now I'm also working, so I'm doing more than just making content on here. I'm also working to get my money income coming in, and just a lot of other stuff, man. Like I'm like mostly busy, but I'm also like becoming a little bit more fulfilled in life because of just of the fact that I've been having such a great year, and then on top of that, I'm just getting better too, and on top of that, my fitness got better, guys. Like seriously, bro, like just like with anything that happened in 2020, like my fitness took a freaking nosedive, man. Like it did. Like I somehow almost regained like the weight that I had initially lost when I was like working out, like Ishiru karate to working out a little bit more at the gym. um I was like like a skinny guy again, or just relatively fit-ish person. Um, I kind of stopped a little bit, but I was still like working out a little bit more. And 2020, like I said, what happened with that? My fitness took a complete nosedive, and I ended up regaining most of my initial weight from that, and a few more. And somehow I was able to make it from 208 pounds. And mind you, my original weight before that was 170 or 175 pounds. And that's, I guess, like considered normal for you know at my existing age at the time and my existing height at the time. I was like just 170 because I was obviously a teenager. But the fact that like I got to 200 pounds, almost like 210 pounds too, like at one point, it was crazy, dude. Like it was bad, especially when I try to like work out like again, especially the hard workouts I used to do. Bro, it got so difficult. I just couldn't even like I couldn't even last like 30 minutes like from before. And yeah, I really needed to like get that fixed until like I think it was like when took a fitness class that like it completely changed me, and I made so many personal goals that like it was crazy. Because how I initially started would have been like around 202 pounds ish. So then after I did that, after I started taking the fitness class, I started making a goal to myself that I want to get down to 196. I was able to get down to 196 in like 3 months. It was insane, dude. Like it took me a while. Even when I was running again, bro, that 1.5 mile run I did, bro, that like I was like, wow, my fitness is like not where it's at all. It was oh no, man. I was just like, you know what? As much as it would be nice to have like big muscles and all this other stuff, if my performance is also not at its like best either, I'm gonna be shit out of luck. So I definitely took it a lot more seriously, and I was able to get down to 196, which was freaking awesome. And then I also had to retake the same class again because I was actually interested in taking out another class, but unfortunately, because of low enrollment, nobody showed up for that, so I had to retake again. And I was able to complete another personal goal, which was get down to 193. And I got down to 193 somehow, which is wow. And that was like my normal weight. My normal weight was between 193 and all right, 190 and 193, and sometimes 195. And like before, it was like sometimes like 202 to sometimes 208, and it was like it was a stark difference, dude. And like mm, 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 mm. So I'm trying to remember. Um, After I got down to 193, I try to like get down to like 189 or whatever for a little bit up until today, guys. Up until today. Right now, I am 187 pounds. 187, guys. Bro, I went from my heaviest to freaking 208 pounds, and now I'm at 187. That is big. I'm actually getting very close to where I was at originally, which was my original weight when I was a kid. Well, not kid. When I was a teenager. 175. That's insane, dude. That is insane. That is crazy. And all I really did was like, changed up my diet and changed up my workout, and wow, holy hell. I'm just now realizing it, guys, but wow, I achieved quite a lot of goals. And mind you, initially I was going from 202 to 196. Now I'm at 187. That is big. But I think I'll talk about the fitness in a little bit. Anyways, all I'm gonna say about this was that it's been kind of a blissful 22 years of existence, man. Like I'm pretty much at a point in my life where I just feel like I am becoming the most confident version of myself, the best version of myself, as best as possible. And I'm just been enjoying it. Like, I go with this like quote here that was like said by like Bring Me the Horizon, featuring, I still forget about this girl's name sometimes, but they said this like particular line of it's just a bad day, not a bad life, bro. That like hit me to the core, because like I always thought like, oh, I have such a bad life and it was so bad even when I was a teenager too. But then I kind of realized, no, I just only have like usually like bad days like anybody else. It's just like it's only really a bad life if you allow negativity to just completely consume you to a point where you can't really do much of anything. It's just like you gotta make sure that the rest of the day that you have, of the like the 7 days a week here, is like at least like either decent, good, great, or excellent. Like at least between those ranges, because like you know we're all gonna have bad days no matter what. There can be like a tragedy that can like strike at any given moment, to just a lot of other stuff going on. And that's something that I realized too, is like, even though I am getting better in my life and I am becoming a little bit more successful with it, I just know that like there's still a lot that I need to learn. There's still a lot of life experiences that I've yet to experience. And also just knowing that life is going to still be tough no matter what. I mean, it's always going to be tough. Like, you know we're going to lose a lot of people that we love and care about, and that's something that like life really like hit at me when I was like you know reaching my 20s or whatnot. It was like a pandemic happened. My ex-girl broke up with me, to shout out to Albuquerque High School. My senior year, like completely cut off, and just so many things going on. And then on top of that, so many important people that I love and care about, gone too, including, my cousin Sean, and just a lot of other stuff too, man. It was just, that's just always the thing about life, is like life is still going to continue to go on, even if the people that we love and care about, and even in our lives too, are no longer here. So that's why, like, for me, it's just like, I look at it like this, I want to make sure that, no matter what happens in life or whatever, that I get to at least experience my life however I want to experience it, whether that's within my control or not. Like with that, without my control, it's just usually like economics or whatever. Like that's well beyond my control, that I don't even really want to get into too much into, because you know there's not a right or wrong answer with that. It's convoluted and complicated with policies, economics, and social issues, and just so much shit going on that is sometimes well beyond my control. So it's like that's already, yeah. But the things that I can control with my life is just how I am to a day to day basis. You know what I mean? And just that's all I really got, is just what I have in the now. And the now, of course, is my birthday. But it's just like, no matter what, even if it's like my birthday or it's just a regular day or whatnot, it's just like I make it a point to make sure that, even if I do have like a bad day or something like that, that, I at least make it, I at least like see it as like a lesson to like get better in life or something like that, because we all have like choices in life that it's going to like impact us for the remainder of our lives, and it's just being able to take those initial steps is like is gonna like get you to like different levels. So that's pretty much what I did, was like, especially when I took initiative when I was 18 years old, was just you know I always wanted to make sure that you know I get to at least experience a life that I am proud of. And doing this, like we've talked episodes to now working and just doing a lot of like things. It's just like it's making me more of a well-rounded person now. And I still plan on doing just so many things, from my YouTube channel to so a lot of things on social media, to just my art. I want to get like, my entertainment business out there. Like I am like dead set on making sure that I have like a big impact, and not only in my life, but in my family's life, in my friends' life, and just make sure that I lead this world in a way that's more, better, more positive, I would say, and just, you know, leave it with some love. That's why I always like say, no matter what, and every video, peace, love, and positivity to all. I say that not just because it's just a cliche word to say. No, I embody that because I want to make sure that even if things are not going right, that you know we still got to like keep a open mind to just a lot of things, because in life we're always going to deal with obstacles, and that's something I've learned too throughout my entire entire existence, of 22 years of my existence in this earth, is just that things are going to happen. Everything's going to happen, whether that's good or bad. It's going to happen. It's just what we're able to do with our lives is what matters the most. And that is the lesson that I want to give you guys too, is like, you know, life is going to continue to do what it's going to do. It's up to a lot of us to just like be able to handle it or not really handle it. It's complicated, but it's just like, I don't know. It just depends on the person. But for me, it's just like I choose to make things happen, and I choose to continue to live my life to the fullest, because if I don't live my life to the fullest, it's going to be kind of a problem. Hold on a second, guys. And apologies for that again. My brother still calls me for a lot of things, but otherwise, yeah, I think that's all I'm going to pretty much say about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this little live. I mean, this is still kind of nerve wracking considering that this is kind of my first time actually doing a live. So if you guys actually enjoy it, just let me know. And otherwise, yeah, it's been such a blissful year, man. To be able to make it to 22 years old and still be able to do what I love doing, which is, watch anime, play video games, you know, um, be a content creator, and, you know, doing something really fun with my life. And, for the first time, I'm really going to say this, for the first time in my adult life, I actually feel genuinely happy about myself, because for quite some time it's just like I kind of been having a hard time just trying to like express myself in ways that is like genuinely me. But I don't know, I guess just like at the time I just wanted to just be liked and pleased by a lot of people, whereas now I'm just like, you know what, I really don't care if a person likes me or doesn't like me. It's like, who cares? I mean, I'm probably gonna have a lot of people that are gonna like me, and there's gonna a lot of people that are gonna like hate me for whatever stupid ass reasons. It's like I can't control how a person is gonna, you know, you know, react towards me. Other than I can, at least try to make a better first impression on like, yeah, I'm a good person. But we'll see. Sometimes I look at it like this. Um, no matter what, I'm still going to live my life how I'm going to live it. And if it just so happens that like my life is somehow or whatever is like, affecting another person's life, I don't know, just I wouldn't say just for like silly reasons, like I don't know, me not I don't know, talking about anime and talking about a lot of other stuff too is like somehow offensive, and somehow like trying to question their existence in life. I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's a you problem. But yeah, it's just like I said, um, whether or not you're gonna live your life to the fullest, it's just like you're still going to have people to that are gonna like do the most. It's always like the quote, damned if you do, damned if you don't. For me, I'm like, you know what? Damned if I do, because you know what? Fuck it. I'm still gonna live my life however I'm gonna live it, no matter what. And that's just how it is. And you know, like I said, I don't want this to be like I'm saying that as like I'm being dismissive towards another person, especially if it's like someone I care about. That one I will be a little bit more serious about. But if it's just like some random stupid idiot on, I don't know, on the internet just talking whatever shit, I just be like, whatever. I don't give a shit because it's like it's just somebody that I will probably not going to see in my entire life any fucking ways. You know, they're gonna just say whatever because it's the fucking internet. Because I think Mike Tyson said it best. It's like these people have gone a little too comfortable talking that foul smack. But if they would ever say that in real life to another person, they will legit get smacked in the face for it. So it's like, you know what? He's right. And you know what? There's nothing I could do much about the internet because, I'm on the internet. I'm going to get judged and criticized about a lot of dumb stuff. I just look at it as like, you know what? I'm gonna live my life. How I'm gonna live it. And if you guys want to join in as much as you can. And if you want to venture out to try something else or watch another YouTuber or whatever, you are free to do so. Like I don't want to just like try to force you guys like get caged in and be like, no, you need to follow my lead because I know the truth about life. Like, no, no, no. You guys can live however you want to live. Like if you want to support me, you guys can. If you guys don't and you just like my vibe and just like want to view my stuff, go on right ahead. Like you have every right as a person to do whatever you want to do with your life. All right, that's how it is. I want this like a community where it's just like we're free to do, I mean, pretty much whatever we want to do and live our lives, but at the same time we're able to just like still show love, compassion, and empathy towards another person and be able to support them however we can. And that's something that I want to build for like the Shiesman Nation, that is more than just like, oh yeah, it's just me all the time. It's like it's me and you and everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And you're just just like building a very strong community, on the internet and hopefully in real life. And that's all we can really ask for. And yeah, that's all I can pretty much say before I end up like rambling on about a lot of other things like I usually do sometimes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little live. For the ones that are probably gonna end up watching this anyways. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Um, I absolutely enjoyed it too. Uh, just being able to, just relax and fully express myself how I am doing, and just give you guys a little good vibe too. Know what I'm saying? Oh, I just did a fist bump. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, because like I remember a lot, like sometimes too that like PewDiePie would always do it all the time. Where like at the end of his video, he would just like do a fist bump like that. Ah, dude, that's awesome. I did that. Hey, if PewDiePie is actually watching this, thank you so much for that. Like, I remember when I was like a teenager, whatnot, watching your stuff, man, and just like the way that you would just like bring positive energy to another person just with a fist bump, man, that was freaking cool, dude. Like you're a legend for that. And I also give a shout out to Markiplier and Corey Kinshin, Jack at the eye, 8-bit Ryan, those guys. And I'll also say Cub Scouts too. Jay from the Cub Scouts, yes sir, you guys are awesome. And I am grateful that I was able to in my teenage years get to experience you guys, and it was just really great to see your stuff and just be inspired every single day from that, just taking inspirations and stuff. And then this one's kind of underrated because I think you guys probably don't remember this guy all that much, from the good old olden days, from the YouTube days, other than some guy named Onion. That won't like get into too much, but sex, what? Oh God. Sorry, I don't know what my brother just said there, but whatever he did say there, it was kind of funny. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah, the YouTubers from from like Smosh to Timothy. I forgot to. I don't know his last name that he has right now is kind of hard to pronounce. So I'm just gonna say Timothy Delgado from how I remembered from back in the day. So sorry, Timmy, Timothy. I had to bring up your old name a little bit, but otherwise, yeah, Timothy to old school Smosh, from Anthony and Ian and Ryan Higa or Nigga Higa too, and not two, but like Nigga Higa and um this certain YouTuber too that I think you guys probably might remember a little bit, but not quite because he's hasn't done this in a minute, but maybe Bad 35. Yes, absolutely. I remember, God, it would have been also in 2011 that like I watched his video, and I think it was How to Kiss when he was doing his thing with his girl. I won't explain too much details on that out of respect for like privacy there, but it was a really funny fucking video too, and just the amount of like stupid jokes I was going on to. I don't know if I should really say this, but you know what? Fuck it, just a little bit. You stupid fucking twat face. That one, that one was fucking hilarious, dude. And it was good, man. It was good. So yeah, shout out to maybe Bad 35. And anyway, just shout out to all those guys, wonderful people, and even Game Theory too. Matt Pat, yes sir, yes sir, man. Game Theory, man, it's awesome, and Film Theory as well. Just with like Matt Pat to explain a lot of like interesting things too, man. Like, dude, I remember. What was it? I think he was talking about like nah, no, 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 no. What was it? It was about like Legend of Zelda, like the timelines. That one was pretty cool. To Mario being, an evil dude. To Friday Nights at Freddy's, the FNAF series, dude. Man, it was pretty good. Hold on a second. But anyways, I think I actually got some things to do on my birthday. Like, I would love to stay here and like continue to talk about like so many fun things, but I think I'm probably gonna save that maybe a little later to like explain about some really cool things. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little live that I did, and this is my first time really doing this, on YouTube, so it's gonna be kind of interesting. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, 22 years old, guys. It's a big thing. It's a really big thing. I'm truly blessed that I was able to make it, to 22 years old. And hopefully I'm able to also make it to, 25, 30, or so on. But just with life, you never truly know. That's why it's like, I go with, I'm going to continue to live my life no matter what, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, anyways, about to go ahead and leave, and I might come back here again. So, yes, this will be your boy. So, yeah, anyways, this is your boy, Shizeman21 signing out, and I will see you guys later. I hope you guys have a good day today. Good night, good evening, whatever. I hope you guys have a really good day, blissful day, especially now that it's gonna be my birthday. I'm gonna give everyone else that's like probably like watching this like my forever blessing. So here you go. Boom, 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 boom. I guess. Here's one for the guys and the girls and the non-binaries in the back and everyone else. There you guys go. Here's your A game. Here's your love and everything. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys later. Stay peaceful, stay amazing, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay being you, stay being classy, and also stay being sexy. Make sure you drink your water. All right. Damn, with your sexy ass. It was this is your boy Shazman 21 signing out, and I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, and positivity to all, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Boo!